Welcome to my channel where we discuss everything about things politics, especially about the 2023 presidential election in Nigeria that was held on February 25 and the winner announced on March 1st, and in which the winner is being disputed at the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal and eventually at the Supreme Court. Now, in this video, call your friends together. If you are an obedient, there is a special message from the national chairman of Labour Party, Julius Abure. He is passing a very important message that should be of concern to all the obedients. But after we go through his message, we are then going to analyze his message. But it is important that every obedient listening to this and get ready, because the information he released in this statement should be of value to every obedient and indeed to every Nigerian who voted for a new Nigeria on February 25. Let's go. Now, the national chairman of Labour Party has issued a statement on Monday, July 10th, 2023, which he titled, "Be on alert, don't be caught unawares, as APC government already planning for a rerun. Be on alert, don't be caught unawares, as APC government already planning for a rerun." Labour Party National Chairman Julius Abure tells members. Now let's go to the details of this statement that was issued on his behalf. The national chairman of the Labour Party, Barrister Julius Abure, said that he has been informed of the plans by the All Progressive Congress-led government to walk ahead of a possible rerun, knowing that the tide of the wind is heavily tilted against it. The national chairman also called on the over 10 million members of the party to be on the alert and get ready to formally humiliate the APC and its government in the polls if their sinister plot materializes. Barrister Abure stated this on Monday, 10th of July, during an online meeting held with the Nigerian-American Coalition for Justice and Democracy, led by Professor Eddie Oparoji, who is the Labour Party Diaspora chairman in the United States. Abure said, now I'm quoting Abure, "Rumors have it that those in government are already planning for rerun, and this is one of the support we will be canvassing from you. We should also be getting prepared, because since all those in government are already preparing for a run, we too should not be taken unawares. So we will be needing your engagement and support on this aspect if an adventure it happens today that the election is nullified, which is not what we are asking for. Because we are asking for outright declaration of Peter Obi as the president of Nigeria. We believe strongly that we won that election. Given the statistics we have, we are not expecting anything less than the declaration of Peter Obi as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But supposing that didn't happen, as the government is believed to be planning for a rerun, it will not also be out of place for we to be preparing for a rerun election. Having said this by the side, I must say clearly, we have put all our evidences before the court. We are very hopeful that the tribunal will act on our favor. And we are very hopeful that supposing the matter gets to the higher court, the Supreme Court in this case, it will also act in our favor. We are keeping our hope and confidence alive. In 9 months, we are able to change the political narratives of this country. And we must build on that successes so that we can have a more formidable party that we can strategically position for the downtrodden people of Nigeria. End of quote. Also in his contribution, the director of Obidients presidential campaign, Ambassador Oseloka Obaze, called on Obidients members in diaspora to see the struggle for recovering of our mandate as a collective responsibility, and one that no one can actually abandon for any other reason. Great countries of the world are built by the citizens of the country, and I think we have in the diaspora enormous human capital. What we need to do is to be able to harvest them, bring them home, and make Nigeria a great place. The process is ongoing. The campaign to change this nation is not just an event, it is a process, a long drawn process. How long it is going to last, we don't know. But I think we serve as the most and the best is to remain focused on our various sectors. You that are in diaspora, do what you can do to support us. We that are in the trenches will continue to keep the ground. The national chairman of the Nigerian American Coalition for Justice and Democracy, Professor Oparoji, in his speech titled Fostering a Purposeful Diaspora Partnership for a New Nigeria, said that the group, in partnership with all Obidients in diaspora, has the potential to contribute significantly to Nigeria's development. Through advocacy, human rights promotion, capacity building, investment, education, and healthcare support, diaspora engagement, and policy advocacy, we can play a crucial role in fostering democratic governance, justice, and socioeconomic progress in Nigeria. With our diverse network and resources, our diaspora community can be a catalyst for positive change and contribute to Nigeria's long-term development goal of powering up that new Nigeria of our dream. The statement was signed by Abure Ifo, National Publicity Secretary, Labour Party. Issued on this day of 10th July 2023. Now let us go to the nitty-gritty. What are the messages in this statement by Abure? One, that the APC are surreptitiously working for a rerun election, and that the Obidients, the Labour Party supporters, everybody who voted for change, who wanted a change, a new Nigeria, should better get ready so that they are not taken unawares. That those in government are already aware that their days are numbered based on the weight of evidence in the court against them. But this is, as far as he is concerned, this is a sinister plot of the APC, which I think that it can only happen if the justices of our Supreme Court decide to give Tinubu a soft landing. If not, Tinubu is not even going to be able to participate in a rerun election. And I will tell you the ground in which I stand in believing that if the Supreme Court nullify the election and say that there should be another election, there are strong indications that Tinubu ought not to participate in it. And Abure also made a very important point that everybody should note. He said that this idea of rerun is not what Labour Party is looking for. Labour Party is looking for outright declaration of Peter Obi as the winner of the 2023 presidential election in Nigeria, to be sworn in as the president of Nigeria. And he said that from the available data they have, from the available statistics they have the numbers for Peter Obi to be declared the winner of the election. But suppose that didn't happen, and the sinister plot of the APC carries the day, which is the nullification of the election. Because nullification of the election is not the key prayer of Peter Obi. The number one, in fact, if you go and study the prayers of Peter Obi, the idea of nullification is in the latter part. What Peter Obi wanted and what the Labour Party wanted or wants from the court is for Peter Obi to be declared the winner of the election. So the idea of rerun is not what Labour Party is looking for. But the Labour Party national chairman is being proactive based on intelligence information he has gotten that the APC, knowing the weight of allegation against them at the court, are already making arrangements for a rerun election. Which obviously means that those of them in government are already aware that their days in government are numbered, unless they win a free and fair election in a rerun. But the rerun is not what the Labour Party wanted. But it is like a sinister plot. It is a situation where the Supreme Court don't know what to do again with Tinubu and the APC, and decided to give them a soft landing, in which case they will call for a rerun. But what I know, and from what he said in this report, is that there is enough evidence, enough information, enough data to prove that Peter Obi won the election. And he should be declared the winner of the election and sworn in as the president of Nigeria. That is what Labour Party want. But in case it doesn't happen, and the sinister plot of APC carry the day, whereby they are saying that's going to be a rerun, he said that Labour Party supporters, Labour Party members at home and in diaspora should not be caught unawares. Everybody should be getting ready. And he has promised that Labour Party in a free and fair election will beat APC again, as they also beat APC before it was allegedly rigged in the first ballot. Now, why do I say that if truly the Supreme Court decide that there should be a rerun, Tinubu should not be part of it? Is because there are a ground to disqualify him. In fact, the nullification of his election could be on the ground of disqualification. Now, if you look at Section 137 of the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria, which contain the conditionalities for anyone to be disqualified from contesting the office of President of Federal Republic of Nigeria. That Section 134, subsection 1A, 1D, reads like this: a person shall not be qualified for election to the office of president if he is under a sentence of death imposed by any competent court of law or tribunal in Nigeria, or a sentence of imprisonment or fine for any offense involving dishonesty or fraud by whatever name called, or for any other offense imposed on him by any court or tribunal, or substituted by a competent authority for any other offense imposed on him by such a court or tribunal. You know that when Senator Opayemi came to the court to defend Tinubu, he confirmed that the $460,000 that Aswadibola Ahmed Tinubu forfeited to the United States government was a proceed of narcotics, and that the allegation against him also involved money laundering. That admittance means that even the Tinubu himself have admitted he forfeited $460,000 to the United States government. Now, forfeiture of such an amount, for any forfeiture at all, is seen as a criminal activity. Because if you don't commit crime, you cannot forfeit. So that is enough ground for Tinubu to be disqualified from participating in any election going forward. Now, let us look at how the Supreme Court define forfeiture, so that you know that forfeiture is a crime, and this is an indication of paying a penalty for crime committed. It's a sign of conviction. So Tinubu, by admitting that he forfeited $460,000 to the United States government, is tantamount to admission of crime. So on that ground, if you go through this section 137, 1B, you discover that it's enough ground to disqualify him. Now let us look at what the Supreme Court of Nigeria defined forfeiture, so that you know that it's a crime. You don't forfeit unless you have committed a crime. Now, in 2014, the Supreme Court of Nigeria defined forfeiture as punishment for an offense under Nigeria criminal statutes. The word forfeiture means the divestiture of property without compensation, the loss of a right, privilege, or property because of crime, breach of obligation, or neglect of duty. The court ruled in January 17, 2014, in the case between Mohammed Abacha and the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Now, this definition, let us go ahead with the definition by the Supreme Court. The same forfeiture. A person who has forfeited property on the basis of a crime cannot be entitled to indemnity. Forfeiture is a form of punishment. There is no indemnity in our criminal procedure. The court further stated in a majority decision delivered by now Chief Justice of Nigeria, Olukayode Arewala, the present and incumbent Chief Justice of Nigeria, was the person who defined this forfeiture. What is forfeiture? He read it out in the court, at the Supreme Court. So this forfeiture, will it mean a different thing now in 2023? I don't think so. I don't think that the word, that the English language and the legality and the legal meaning of forfeiture in Nigeria has to change now. So this is, to me, is enough ground to disqualify Tinubu. And if he's disqualified, there's no way, if there's a rerun, he should be allowed to participate. Unless there are another reason they are doing the rerun and they allowed and they dismiss this forfeiture. That is a different thing altogether. That's the only way that Tinubu can participate in the election. But if the court, the Supreme Court, stands on this definition of forfeiture, and by the admission of the forfeiture of $460,000, I don't see how Tinubu can escape being barred from participating in a rerun election. Now, in a book titled Truth and Terror, a Drug Enforcement Story, the author, Andre Kellogg, a former U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration agent, wrote that checks revealed that a document signed by a former United States government attaché in his embassy in Nigeria, Andre Kellogg, said that Tinubu allegedly operated, because I'm the one putting the allegedly now, because that's not how it is written, allegedly operated an organization that distributed cocaine. Kellogg said that though Tinubu was not subjected to criminal prosecution, the fact that he acceded to forfeiting funds to the United States government was on its own a conviction. So this author is saying that the fact that Tinubu admitted that he forfeited $460,000 is on its own a conviction. So in that case, this American narcotic agent, anti-narcotic agent, he said that forfeiture is an indication of conviction. So given all this information available, both to the Supreme Court and everybody, everywhere, and you can go and look for this book, and I saw it on Amazon. I have not yet, but somebody extracted a page from it that I cited here. But you can go and look for the book and read it. The title of the book is Truth and Terror, a Drug Enforcement Story, where the Tinubu story was included in that book. So in that case, if you look at all the kind of evidence, it's very, very difficult for the court to annul the election and then allow Tinubu to participate. He can only participate if the court disregarded this forfeiture issue and said that the meaning of forfeiture in 2014 is not the same, or the forfeiture that Tinubu did was different from the forfeiture that the Mohammed Abacha and the Abacha family did to the federal government. So if they can be able to tell Nigerians how they are different, that means that if there's a rerun, perhaps Tinubu will participate. But if not for that, I think there's enough ground on this forfeiture issue for him to be banned from participating, or for him to be disqualified, okay, because of this forfeiture matter. Again, you look at the issue of discrepancies in certificates. which is also an issue. Now, if that issue, if the Supreme Court look at it from the perspective of uh, the petitioners, and say that indeed there were discrepancies in the certificate, that's enough ground also to disqualify him. In that case, he will not participate in the rerun. So his participating in the rerun depends on this issue of forfeiture disregarded by the Supreme Court, the issue of certificate, alleged certificate forgery and all that, disregarded by the Supreme Court, and then after they deducted the votes of P2B that P2B got in Rivers State, where P2B is believed to have won by the independent calculation of the result by premium times at the BBC, and P2B is also claiming that he won Benue State. Okay. Now, if you give P2B victories that he got in Benue and Rivers State, it means that P2B will have more states than any other presidential candidate, and obviously have more votes than any other presidential candidate. So after doing all that, if Tinubu was still able to survive, because I don't see how he could be able to survive if they deduct all the votes that was allegedly added to him that belongs to Peter Obi in Benue, in Rivers, in Plateau, and in Lagos, that Peter Obi had already presented the matter to the Supreme Court, to the courts, to the appeal court, which of course you know it will eventually end up in the Supreme Court. Because if you remove all those, because already Tinubu has 12 states. If you remove 2 states from him, if you remove 2 states from Tinubu, his number of states will drop down to 10. Okay? P2B will have about 13 plus FCT. P2B will have more than 13 plus FCT, yes. 13 plus FCT. And the number of Tinubu will also drop. Don't forget that the professor of mathematics that was invited by P2B as a star witness was able to show to the court whether the court will accept it or not, but he was able to show to God that there were 18,088 blood result sheets that was used in declaring Tinubu the winner of the election. And he said this 18,088 blood results constitute about 2.5 million votes. Now, if you subtract 2.5 million votes from the 8.7 million votes that Tinubu used in winning the election, Tinubu's number will drop to 6.2 million. In fact, Tinubu will drop down to 3rd position in terms of total number of votes cast. So I don't even know how the miracle that will make it possible for him to participate in a rerun. But we keep our fingers crossed. But just like the national chairman of the Labour Party said, people should be watchful, should be waiting. Because if APC, as he said, are planning for a rerun, then Labour Party should be getting ready. I've already done another video where I show that if there is anything like a rerun, it must include P2B. No matter how they turn it up and down, there will be no rerun without P2B's Labour Party. The issue, what will be the bone of contention is whether it is P2B and Tinubu or P2B and Atiku Abubakar. But P2B is the constant. Labour Party is the constant in the variable of any rerun going forward. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, God will rank it high and recommend it for more people. God bless you and yours.